hear me? That's great. So I think we can get started. There's a bit of a line outside still, but I think people are just going to be coming in slowly while we get started, okay? So first of all, hello everybody, and a very, very warm welcome to the Danube Cup 2022 competition. This is the Hungarian final of the contest. Also, greetings to everybody watching at home. My name is Orsolya Sikra, and I'm going to be your host or moderator today. I myself am a student at Corvinus University of Budapest, and well, this is the Danube Cup, an international startup pitch competition between 7 universities alongside the river Danube. And today is the Hungarian selection, which means that teams from the Budapest University of Technology and Economics and Corvinus University of Budapest are going to be performing. There will be a final order today, and there are going to be some nice prizes as well. But the main goal of today is to decide which 2 teams from each school should represent their respective schools at the international events, which are first off the semi-final, which is on the 12th of May, and that's a fully online event, and then the finals, potentially, which is an in-person event in Vienna, and it is going to be organized within the framework of an event called Entrepreneurship Avenue, and that's on the 31st of May. And only 1 team per school can proceed to the final at the end. So let's start with the agenda for today. This is the opening ceremony happening right now. It will take around 20 minutes, and then we will take around 10 minutes to briefly introduce our sponsors. And at 3:30, it's competition time, so the teams start to pitch, and then we'll take a little bit of a break when the jury decides basically about the final order. And after that, an award ceremony follows. And then food buffet, okay? And so let's get started with the opening speeches. As far as I know, Mr. András Betlendi is not here with us today. So first I'm going to call János Vecsenyi, the founder of Danube Cup, to make his opening remarks. Oh, okay. So I will call Mr. Pál Danyi to make his opening remarks, the co-founder of Danube Cup. So please take a seat.
Thank you very much. Oh, so unbelievable. Unbelievable in many ways. Unbelievable because so many students are here. We started this international Danube Cup 6 years ago. 6 years ago, and 3 years ago in the very same room, we started the international path of it. So in the first 3 years, this Danube Cup competition was just purely between the Budapest University of Technology, Műegyetem, and the other side, Budapest Corvinus University. And this was a kind of competition between the 2 universities as Professor Vecsenyi imagined, like the Oxford-Cambridge regatta competition, but he will tell us a little bit more about the concept. So after 3 years, we realized that this is just so cool competition, and the teams and the students loved it. We decided to extend this to international Danube Cup. 3 years ago, in the very same room, we had the first international competition with 3 countries, and the first award went to Vienna. And after that, a COVID period came, but we never relaxed, and Loretta joined the team. Loretta Huszák, without whom this competition wouldn't be so big. Because Loretta just pushed us. And we understood that if we do this seriously, then we have to do this really just international level and scaling up. Everybody knows scaling up from startup. So now we are in the process of scaling up this competition. Currently, 7 universities, 4 countries. But we have additional ambitions, and involving Bulgaria, Romania, even yesterday we had a conference, Danube Cup conference, the first Danube Cup conference, and we had a chance to talk to Ismail State University. Who is in the room who knows that Ismail University is along the Danube? Surprise! Thank you. So 1 out of 60 people. So pretty much amazing that even Ukraine has university along the Danube, and that is called Ismail State University. So we are here. This is the 7 universities that are currently competing each other. And now we are here today to decide about the teams who will represent the 2 Hungarian universities in the international final. So 2 teams will be selected from the Budapest University of Technology and 2 teams from the Corvinus University. And altogether 4 teams will represent Hungary in the semi-finals. Which are the Danube Cup events this year? Yesterday we had a wonderful and very successful conference. Hands up please who participated in the conference yesterday. Yes, absolutely. So that was primarily for educators, for professionals who teach entrepreneurship, and it went very well. Large international group of teachers, educators, ecosystem players, and it went very well. Today is the Danube Cup Hungarian final. The semi-final will come 2 weeks from now on 12th of May, and the Danube Cup International Final will come on 30th and 31st of May. This is going to be a 2-day event, including the Austrians' Entrepreneurship Avenue. Let me ask, is there anyone here in the room who actually applied for the Entrepreneurship Avenue? Okay, so this is an opportunity for all of you next year. Austria opened the Entrepreneurship Avenue for everybody in Central Europe. Also, Hungarian students can apply. Entrepreneurship Avenue is I would say, competition, but much more. It's a training, it's an opportunity to participate in idea hackathons, and at the end there is a demo day. So basically I encourage everybody that if you are interested in entrepreneurship, then next year please apply for the Austrian Entrepreneurship Avenue. Also, the Vienna city will organize an event. It's a startup festival, and part of the startup festival, our competition will come, and the international grand finale. So that's our plan for this year. And let me just show you the award. So this is the award. Actually, it's a wooden sculpture of Levente Molnár, an artist, Hungarian artist. And this is the award in the international final. And actually, on the right side, you can see a perpetual trophy, which goes around, and all the winning teams can own it for 1 year. That's even bigger. So that's, Loretta, you don't have it with you by any chance?
We are now already.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, good. But this is the replica, and this is the one that the international final winner will get. Actually, I love this sculpture. Can you see it? There is a paper boat on the top of the waves. For me, this is startup. This is startup because paper boat is just nothing. It's just a uncertain thing on the top of the water. This is the startup. Startup is so uncertain that you can never be sure that a startup will exist the next year. But if the startup is managed well, then it will become a solid and big boat. So for me, this is a symbol and analogy that every startup starts as a paper boat. but if they are successful, then they can make it as an ocean liner. So let's cross fingers and hope. And actually, we already have a couple of very successful Danube Cup teams from the previous years who made it. Not ocean liners yet, but pretty decent boats like Rocks, for example. They started here at Danube Cup. So this is what I wanted to tell. János, please.
Thank you very much. Professor always liked to speak for hours. And I promise I won't. Just to remind you, that's about 10 years ago, I was kicked out from Corvinus University as a professor, but I got a very nice farewell prize, and I became a professor emeritus, which for me is a retired professor. Anyway, I thought, well, I used to teach here at the technical, I used to study here at the Technical University. I got my golden diploma here, which means that it was more than 50 years ago. It was far away. And I still remember that on the first semester I tried to take an exam here, and the professor who made the exam suggested me I missed the door and even missed the school. I'd rather go to the Corvinus, at that time Marsz Károly University anyway, instead, because the style I speak is much better fit to the Corvinus University than to the Technical University. But still, I graduated from here, and then I started to teach at the Corvinus. And since then, I decided to have some cooperation between the two schools. So I thought that it would be better for both universities to join again, because before the war, Second World War, it was a joint university. But I couldn't make it. But I decided to organize a Cambridge-Oxford regatta, but not on the water of Danube, but instead in a way of startup idea competition. And then I improved pivot. I pivot a bit, and instead of an idea competition, I thought that it would be better to have a competition on validated business concept. Because, as Polly mentioned, that the paper boat is quite vulnerable. Idea can be anything, but you have to validate whether it's viable or not. And viability means fit and sexy and moneymaker. So you have to find out whether your idea is really fit to the market need, whether it's more attractive than any of the competitors, and you can make money out of it. If not, it's a nice dream, but the market doesn't really pay for it. So in that case, it would be better to start something new. Its pivot can be quite viable when you decide to start a new one. And there are here some companies which you decided to start, and maybe in a couple of years ahead it will be in a modified version will be a very successful one. So I wish you to have a viable and feasible business idea, create your team, because it's not a solo sport, it's a teamwork. Without a team you cannot be successful. Without the team of organizing this event, this series of events, because last day it was a conference, without the organizing team, it wouldn't happen at all. So you might be an idea owner. So what? The Danube is full with ideas. So good luck, have a viable and feasible business solution with your team, with your knowledge and skills. Jó napot! Good to see. That's very important. Dedicated people who really want to participate, who really want to win in the business and in a competition. It's a competitive environment, so let's start the competition. Thank you.
All right, you've heard János Vecsenyi, Professor Emeritus at both universities and also the founder of Danube Cup there. So now I think it's time to introduce our jury members for today, and I think I have mics here, so it's probably the best solution if I give it to them. All right, so first off, the chairman of the jury is Lénárd Horgos from Absolvo.
Hello. Oh, okay. So hi, good to be here. Thanks for the invitation. My name is Lénárd Horgos, founder and CEO of Absolvo. Actually, Absolvo is an advisory company. We are doing M&A deals. These are mergers and acquisitions. So we are every day working with investors on either the investor or the company side. Myself, mainly I work with technology companies. You may have heard of Balabit or Starschema, Logischool, or such startups coming out of the technical university like Avatao. Actually, talking about the roots of the university, I started Absolvo when I was still a student of the Corvinus. That time it was Közgáz, and starting a company when you are studying and trying to absolve the exams and getting a diploma, that was not easy, but we are here. I still like what I'm doing, so very much looking forward to this event, and good luck with the pitches.
All right. Next up is Gábor Dehelem from Startup Business Launchpad.
Yes, hi to everybody. I'm trying to turn over you, it's not so comfortable for me, so I apologize for it. So I'm Gábor Dehelem, I'm one of the co-founders of Startup Business Launchpad, and we've been working with several startup teams and government companies, corporations. We are mainly doing the support system. We are part of the innovation ecosystem and creating possibilities for both startups and corporates. We've been managing with my partners in the last 4 years the biggest Hungarian corporate incubator, which is called Started NK and Age. And today, with Startup Business Launchpad, I'm here to listen to your ideas and help you to succeed, help you to scale, and maybe find good opportunities together. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Peter Dietrich from High Ventures.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Peter Dietrich. I'm from High Ventures. I'm one of the investment directors there. High Ventures is probably one of the biggest VCs in the CE region. We manage around 400 million euros, and we invest from the very early stage, like 30,000 euros up to a few millions of euros. And I'm really interested about the pitches, and maybe we'll have a deal as well. Thank you.
All right. Well, next up is Mike Rabinovitz from Citibank.
Hi. This is who thought about this. My name is Mike Rabinowitz. I'm an SVP at Citibank here in Budapest. I've been in the banking industry for about 11,000 years, so a lot of what I've done is some people call entrepreneurship, is basically looking for opportunities within an established company, how to build out a product or how to exploit an opportunity or crush your competition, which hopefully you will all do at some point. When I was your age, or probably a little bit older, when I went to grad school, I already had an graduate degree in business administration, so I didn't want to get an MBA, but I wanted to stay in the business aspect of my career. So I got a master's in entrepreneurship, which was, I think, a great choice, because ever since then I've kind of spent a lot of my outside time outside of banking consulting with startups, mostly on pitching and how to structure and get your point across. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what everyone has to say. Thanks.
All right, and last but not least, Ben Samaroshi from Dynamo Pricing.
Hello everyone, I'm Ben Samaroshi from Dynamo Pricing, as she mentioned. I also graduated here in the Budapest University of Technology and Economics some years ago. And now I'm the CEO of Danube Pricing, which is Hungary's first and so far the only pricing technology company. We are developing pricing engines that are quite similar to the ones that airline industry uses or hotel industry uses, but we provide it to event ticketing systems and solutions. And as I'm not a professor, I promised myself that I won't talk long, so good luck to everyone.
All right, well, thank you so much. And now let's hear about... of course. And now let's hear about our sponsors. The first one being the Budapest Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And then Hedvehét Elektronika, Masterplast, Trezorit, the National Talent Program, Nemzeti Tehetségprogram, and Ifjúsági Vállalkozás Élénkítő Egyesület. So we have them to thank for this competition. And two of our sponsors have kindly asked us to play their very short videos. So first off is the Budapest Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Engedje meg, hogy bemutassam a Budapesti Kereskedelmi és Iparkamarát. A következő pár percben kiderül, hogy milyen feladatokat végez, hány tagozatból áll, és kiknek lehet partnere a sikerhez, a BKIK. A gazdasági kamarák a gazdálkodó szervezetek által köztestületi formában létrehozott és működtetett szervezetek, amelyek az állam gazdasági szerepvállalásának csökkentésével a gazdasággal összefüggő közfeladatok egy részét önigazgatás útján látják el. Legfontosabb feladatuk a helyi vállalkozások összefogására épülő, partnerségen alapuló gazdaságfejlesztés. A BKIK az ország legnagyobb taglétszámú gazdasági kamarája, Budapest gazdasági, társadalmi közéletének meghatározó tényezője. Jelenleg több ezer önkéntes tagja van a kereskedelem, az ipar, a szolgáltatás és a kézműipar területéről. A kamara legfőbb hivatásának tartja, hogy előmozdítsa a gazdaság fejlődését és szerveződését, óvja az üzleti forgalom biztonságát és a piaci magatartás tisztességét, ellássa a gazdasági tevékenységet folytatók általános, együttes érdekeinek érvényesítését. A BKIK részt vesz a gazdaságot érintő jogszabályalkotásban, a hosszú távú gazdaságfejlesztési programok kialakításában és végrehajtásában, illetve a fővárosi területfejlesztésben. Ha önnek egyéni vagy társas vállalkozása van, bizonyára hallott már a Kereskedelmi és Iparkamaráról, hiszen 2012-től törvény írja elő a kötelező kamarai regisztrációt. Fontos tudni, hogy ez nem egyenlő az önkéntes kamarai tagsággal. A kötelezően regisztrált vállalkozások számára térítésmentes kamarai alapszolgáltatások a következők: tanácsadás gazdasági, pénzügyi, adózási, hitelhez jutási kérdésekben, pályázatfigyelés, üzleti partnerkeresés elősegítése. Amennyiben egy vállalkozás aktívabb tevékenységet kíván a kamarában folytatni, beléphet az önkéntes kamarai tagok sorába. A belépő önkéntes tagok 4 szakmai tagozat közül választhatnak, ezeken belül pedig a szakmai ágazatok alapján felosztott választási osztályokhoz csatlakozhatnak. Az önkéntes tagok itt gyakorolhatják jogaikat és kötelezettségeiket. A kamarának 4 tagozata van. Gazdasági szolgáltatások tagozat, kereskedelmi tagozat, ipari tagozat, kézműipari tagozat. A tagozatok elsődleges célja és feladata az ágazati szakmai érdekek feltárása, a hozzátartozó vállalkozások érdekeinek összehangolása, érdekképviselete és tájékoztatása. A BKIK-nak 23 kerületi tagszervezete, azaz tagcsoportja van, melyek feladata az adott kerület vállalkozóinak összefogása, információval való ellátása, működésük támogatása. A tagcsoportok munkáját a kerületi szolgáltató irodák segítik, itt a vállalkozók tájékozódhatnak a BKIK által nyújtott szolgáltatásokról is. A kamara legfőbb döntéshozó szerve a küldött gyűlés, amely a BKIK alapszabálya szerint 110 főből, azaz küldöttből áll. A 4 évente megrendezett kamarai választásokon a küldöttek megválasztásában minden budapesti székhelyi vállalkozás részt vehet, függetlenül attól, hogy önkéntes kamarai tagja vagy sem. A küldöttek választják meg az elnököt és a vezető tisztségviselőket. Kamarai küldött és tisztségviselő csak az lehet, aki az önkéntes tagnak bejelentett képviselője a kamarában. A kamara operatív irányító szerve az elnökség. A küldöttek és az elnökség munkáját az ellenőrző bizottság, az etikai bizottság, illetve az ügyintéző szervezet segíti. Pár percben persze nem lehet minden területet kellő alapossággal bemutatni, ám remélem jó kiindulási pontot kapott ahhoz, hogy felfedezze, milyen remek lehetőségek rejlenek a budapesti kereskedelmi és iparkamarában. Ehhez további segítséget talál a www.bkik.hu oldalon, illetve a videó alatt.
Great. All right, and our second video is from 77 Elektronika.
A 77 Elektronika 1986-ban alakult családi vállalkozás, mely működésének 30 éve alatt nagyvállalattá nőtte ki magát. Sikerének titka az innováció. A vállalat 2 termékcsaládot gyárt, mindkettő saját fejlesztésünk. A vércukormérő lehetővé teszi a beteg részére azt, hogy otthon vizsgálja a vércukrát. A másik termékcsaládunk a vizsgálatvizsgálók. Ebből 91 országba exportálunk folyamatosan.
All right. Oops. Okay, and now it's time to start the competition. First, let's meet the teams. We've got 2 teams from Corvinus University of Budapest. The first one being Cheritask, who have an aggregator platform for volunteering events, actually. Can you raise your hands? Okay, hi guys. And then we've got DES, Distributed Energy System, who are developing a software that connects electricity supplier capacity control systems to a smart home system. And I really can't wait for their pitch to get further ideas about what that might be. Hi guys. And from BME, we've got EQ, a smart home system, which helps people with disabilities. Where are you guys?
I'm here.
Oh, hi. Welcome. Lumen, a mobile, modular, very user-friendly solar panel system. Right. TradeBots, an information platform for stock traders. Oh, where's the TradeBots team? All right, they might come later. Who knows? Okay, we shall see. And Triviador Edge, a digital educational game that makes teaching easier and learning more fun, apparently. Where are you guys? Hi. Okay. The rules of pitching is, well, the first one, obviously, is that you've got to pitch in English for around 4 minutes. Okay, we recommend that only one person per team pitch here, and as we have said before, please place great emphasis on validation here. Okay, and after the pitch, there's going to be 8 minutes of a Q&A session with the jury, and here we encourage all team members to answer the questions and participate, all right? And so now I'm asking Polly, actually, what we would like the order of the teams to be.
Yes, originally 2 teams asked me to start the competition because they have to leave earlier. So basically we agreed then that the first team will be Triviador, the second team will be Lumen, and the other 4 teams, let's have a draw. So, where are the teams? Okay, so we're going to do third. Okay. Is that? Thank you very much. So the order, yes. Triviador, Lumen, the third is Cheritask, fourth is EQ, and fifth is Dash. Or Dash.
Okay, thanks so much. All right. Let's start with Triviador then, okay? And you can see the time there. I will also be taking the time, okay? And yeah, in the meantime, I'm just going to pass this to the jury.
Shall we?
Yep, time is here.
Time is money. Hello, welcome. My name is Csaba Pankotai and I'm here today to introduce you to Triviador Edu, a digital educational platform. There is an obvious gap between how schools operate and how kids perceive the world around them. Let's face it, our education is outdated and it is mostly boring for the kids. This is why many believe that digital educational tools can be a good solution. However, most of the tools, such products out there, are not educational games. They are
gamified teaching aids, colorful animated tests. Because a true educational game must have a real game behind. It must be immersive. It must have a content which is validated and is connected to the curriculum. Also, it has to offer something to the teachers. They must have some benefit. And it should be able to create competition and community for the children. Well, Triviado.edu ticks all these requirements because it is built on a very successful and popular game, Triviador, or Honfoglaló in Hungary, which was launched in 2002. It will consist, the educational model, of three major parts: the game itself as a mobile application, the teacher's module, and the very special database. About the business plan. Triviado.edu is going to earn money from subscription sales using both B2B and B2C channels. The B2B channel will target the schools and institutions with direct sales, offering annual subscription plans, while the B2C is for the kids and their parents and will be available from major stores with a freemium model. Although Triviado.edu is a real international project, we made the first year calculation based on the Hungarian market and forecast the company to be self-sustaining. To validate our idea, we conducted 27 interviews with members of the stakeholder groups, children, parents, teachers, and very importantly, educational experts. We wanted to get answer to our four major pivotal questions. The answers were really satisfying, and we also got some important insight. Teachers proved to be very enthusiastic to use the system, while parents claim that they are willing to pay for such a tool. Teachers not only happy to write questions, but they see it as a good opportunity to involve the kids. Although it's hard to answer to such a question as the fourth one, we got a very firm view or insight that the market is a favorable one after the pandemic. So it's not only us who believe in Triviado.edu, it seems, and this us means the team, 5 professionals from the MBA course of the Technical University of Budapest with different field expertise and also with an exclusive license to the Triviado game. Thank you very much for your attention. This is what I wanted to shortly just explain. And if you haven't, please try Triviado. It's a great game. It's an addictive game. And if you want to see how the kids are going to play, it's the Alliance game mode in Triviador. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the pitch. First question is about the content, so the curriculum, and if you can also elaborate on the background, because you mentioned that there is expertise in this field, so whether it's building something virtual or building some edutech, so how can we know that? So first question is about the team background, okay. and the other one is about the content, so actually whether it will be kind of a crowdsourced content, so everyone can write a question, but if it's crowdsourced, then how can you keep the quality, or that it's still an educational platform and not just guiding the kids and the students in the wrong way?
So first question about the team. As it is the MBA course, we are from a bit different generation than the people here. I myself also graduated here in the Technical University about more than 25 years ago. So my expertise in the enterprise area, I've had several enterprises, startups, let's go back. While we have a product development specialist, we have an IT specialist in the team, and also guys from marketing and finance, and sales area. So this is what we mean. I've also been working with the developers of Triviado for more than 15 years. I launched the first non-Hungarian version in Bulgaria of Triviador in 2008. So that's been a very long partnership. And it also kind of takes us to the second question, which is about the content. And not many people are aware of the fact that Triviador and Honfoglaló in Hungary, which is a pretty well-known brand, I believe, the questions are written by the users, by the players. Always been like this. Obviously, it doesn't mean that there is nothing to do with the team itself in Triviador, because they have to validate it, and a lot of extra work. So our plan is the same. So we are going to launch Triviador Edu with a basic set of questions, which will mean that we are breaking down the curriculum to a certain number of questions. So if I want to have a digital kind of simile, we're going to have a very very, very rough pixel picture of the curriculum, and we are expecting the teachers mostly to fine it, to fine-tune it, to make it more HD, so to speak. This is why it was very important in the market research, in the validation, this question and these interviews with different teachers. So it's also an answer to the quality question, because it will be written by teachers. But obviously we are planning to set up a kind of a committee constructed of teachers. I mean, it's from teachers who will further check it and validate the questions, I mean, the content.
My question would be about the buyers, actually. So on one side it's the schools. The schools are not so independent here in Hungary. What do you see? Are they going to be able to buy? Yes, but you said first year is Hungary. So let's say. So what are the plans in Hungary? There's that 50 million forints revenue for the first year. Would that be coming from the schools as well, or you're planning basically on the students or the parents of the students?
So the Hungarian market calculation came from two areas. The B2B came from private schools. There are enough private schools, and also actually it's very, very important that church-run schools are kind of semi-independent. They have some budget. And also that we should not forget that we have a huge reach with the Triviador, so Honfoglaló in Hungary users. I mean, we are talking about hundreds of thousands of people, regular players, and we made a calculation about the number of the cross-section of the Triviador users, the Honfoglaló users, and the target group, and calculated to reach the small fraction of them. This is how we came to these figures. So I believe it's realistic, but the big picture is this. I mean, we are definitely targeting international presence. Honfoglaló and Triviador anyway is available in 16 languages, so it's already an international brand.
Okay, thanks.
In terms of business, I see the global market of EdTech. I see the numbers, how many people play. Where do you stand with your numbers? I only see the participants of the players. Do you make revenue, or what's your vision? Because 16 language and 35 markets is a big chunk.
These are the current Triviador markets, where Triviador is present with, how to put it, mentionable amount of people. There are people playing from all over the world, but there are certain markets, countries where there is a big. Let's say Turkey has actually more players than Hungary. I mean, so this is what we calculate, just to flash it up, that we have international plans and aspirations. At the moment, the plan is to launch Triviador Edu in Hungary and in 2 other markets at the same time, in a test, but paid test version. We have good outlooks for this. One of them would be Bulgaria, which is for me kind of I used to run different business there, so I have a lot of connections. And the other one is Finland, where we have a Finnish educational expert who's very enthusiastic about the product and would be willing to help us put it into test. And nowadays with Finnish education, it's like in the old times you had a TÜV from Germany, and that's it. You opened all the doors. I mean, it's kind of industry standard. If you are Finnish education approved, so to speak. By the way, they have this kind of all kind of systems for this. I think it's a good point. So the plan is to start in 3 countries at the same time, but as a how to put it, real test, and then have the international launch as a product.
Last question. Yeah, sure. Question. I just saw the app. I haven't heard of it before. It looks really interesting. You mentioned that, I guess we're talking about this post-COVID. I'm just imagining a classroom post-COVID. So every kid's sitting at a desk and they have their phone, and the teacher is at her desk with her phone or her laptop, and that's how they're. Oh, that's interesting. It seems. Is that how you're targeting this? I know you're in Hungary. I've got no idea how that's going to work there, but internationally, like in the U.S., for example, this seems to be something that would work quite well for those learning remotely, which is, could be going on for years. I mean, that seems to me the target you're going after.
Well, because of the business model, we need the teachers for the questions. So for us, the B2B channel is an important one. We need to penetrate through schools because that means the mass, the users' mass. On the other hand, home use, home practice is also an important area. We, imagine the kind of the future situation when kids whose school did not subscribe to it, but they see from the friends that they can practice with this fun tool instead of just scrumming. They can download it and use it, but they will have access to the full database, question database from teachers. The primary target is to make class more fun, and we got validation from the teachers that they see it as a good tool for this. Not using every single time, and not to do everything with it, obviously, but as a very good tool to make class more fun and to encourage kids to practice more.
Okay, and how about the age groups? I mean,
It's from 10 to 18 years. Below 10, it's that reading and the speed of the game would not be suitable probably, but maybe in the future because it's kids are getting there faster now. So maybe in a few years' time it's going to be 8 to 18.
Okay, and are we good on time? We're done. Okay, I'm good.
Sure. Thank you very much for your questions.
All right then. Next up is Lumen. Okay, you can get started.
Good afternoon. So, every single hour there is more energy coming to the Earth from the sun than what the entire human race consumes in an entire year. So it's a lot, right? We use like 4 millionth of it, or I don't know. We use solar panels to use this energy, but the problem is that it's a super complicated system. It's basically impossible to avoid calling big companies to come there and implement the system, right? That's the biggest issue with that, in our opinion, and that's why we created a solution for that, which is Lumen, an all-in-one system, which is with an easy plug-and-play system. Basically, you just order it, you put it together, and you're good to go. So that's the idea. Further benefits of this system is that it's basically one panel is a complete system. You don't need other things to one panel is a complete system, and you can just plug together more panels, so you can gradually expand if you feel like, right? And the other thing is that it's mobile, so if you feel like moving somewhere to a new home, you don't need to leave there your complicated system, but you can just take it even to a vacation, because you can just pick it up. So let's see the market. We were talking to hundreds of people through the internet in surveys, deep interviewing specialists in the field, and we came to the conclusion that that would be the best two ways for us, and we need to pick, obviously. One is to work with construction companies, and the other is to target the families, right? And we realize that for now, because of the energy crisis what we are facing, unfortunately, probably it's better to turn to the families and work for them. So let's see some other details. We were talking, no, excuse me for my language. We were not talking, we were checking online, right? We were checking online 5 major categories, how we compare to other companies, and 3 of them is outstanding, and especially 2 of them for Lumen, and one of them is mobility, optimized energy, and the plug and play, so basically this super mobile version of solar panels. We have 2 kind of solar panels, the big one, the Lumen box, and the small one, which is the Lumen baby box. Is a little sister of the Lumen box. The Lumen box is a bigger one. It has it can be basically working with a battery or working from the grid, and the Lumen baby box is off grid only. It's coming with its battery. The baby box, just shortly, is good for outside lights or automats or whatever, and the bigger one you can build up as big system as you feel like and fit your needs. We have a couple of milestones ahead. By the 3rd quarter of this year, we would love to finish the MVP, and then by the 1st quarter of next year enter the market, the Hungarian market, and in 1 year most likely enter the European market. And there is a really nice opportunity, since we have a time finished. So I'm just gonna talk more about these things in the questions. Just a last sentence, what I would like to say, that Bence Tamás Horváth is one of the founders, Bulcsú Berzsák is the other of the founders, and Felicián Nagy is the other of the founders. Those 3 people, and I am Milan Bartis. Nice to meet you. That's it.
Thank you. You're obviously strong in design. I wanted to ask you that you compared yourself with Hyundai and big companies like this. What's the technology that you have and they don't have? What is I don't know, the innovation that they cannot do that you can do?
Yes. Thank you for the question. The innovation is there are more innovations, and not I am the inventor. So probably some of them can talk more about that, but for sure what I can say to you is that one of them is the holding system. What basically you can just put wherever, you can just screw it wherever you feel like, and it's a really nicely designed compact system which no one really has in this field, and the other is this kind of compact solar panel as I know it so far. Yes, right. That's it. Yeah.
By the way, any team member can answer a question.
Yeah. So
thank you.
If you have something to add, please. It was good. Okay, it was good. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
The innovation is the simple.
Come here.
Yeah, you can come closer.
So our most important innovation is the simple structure and the connection with the parts. This is the plug and play working. So everyone who do-it-yourself jobs can install it.
Yeah.
Simple people with their own skills.
Yeah, quick question. So I'm unclear of the size. I mean, you mentioned that, okay, it's portable, plug and play. I like that feature of it. But if I move from my house to another house, I could bring with me. But if I have my entire roof covered with solar panels, that doesn't seem to be a one-to-one match. What does one panel charge? I mean, how much juice does it cover? Does it put out?
Please tell me the technological details or tell them.
Yeah. We made a new generation of solar panel systems. The panels has integrated parts, so you can move the panels from your house to your summertime locate. Only the baby box has a battery pack, and the battery can give us enough energy, so you can buy a lot of battery pack if you need.
Let me rephrase the question real quick here. I have a 100 square meter house, and I have enough power on my roof to live, to survive. How many of your panels match my 100 square meter house?
Yeah, I got it. Tehát, hogy van egy 100 négyzetméteres, akkor mennyi panel kell, hogyha költözésről van szó, akkor egy tetőt visz magával az ember, ez a kérdés igazából. I believe so that you are taking all of them, and I don't know how much it's going to...
I don't want to suck up all the time. You may have other questions here. What I'm trying to figure out is the market, because this doesn't seem like a solar panel replacement type of product that charges the entire house. It's like, I'm going to go camping, I might go to my little summer house. That's cool, but I'm just trying to get clear. Am I competing with the people who put solar panels on my house that charge the entire house, or am I competing with someone for, like, I've seen some stuff like this in the U.S. for camping that have some similar features. I'm just trying to figure out what the market is we're looking at here.
Yeah, obviously the first market would be, so the first target would be people who are implanting usually a couple of solar panels on their houses just to give some extra. But obviously how it improves, it can be a much larger capacity, of course. Yeah. That's my answer for now.
There was a number on one of the slides, 30,000 hoof for the baby box. What's that? So it's the cost of one piece, so the production cost, or it would be kind of the end user price?
So I must go to here then, I need to say, right? Am I right? If you are talking about price? Yes. So basically that would be as the...
Okay, clear. How is the production cost calculated? So it's a rough estimation, or it's realistic? Because, nowadays it's not easy to get parts and products from China.
It's more like a rough estimation, I would say. Yeah, so it can vary, obviously, market to market, of course, country to country, and it depends on who gonna...
And how does this compare with I believe Mike asked about the was that not capacity, but performance, or... So the performance and the competitor's price. I don't know what can be the basics. 1 kilowatt.
Technical question, please. Technical answer we need.
So if I spend 1 million hoof on Hyundai solar panels or on your panels, so does that make sense for me to spend money on your products, because I understand that it's portable, great, but if I just put it on the house, then its performance.
Yes.
Will that be at least comparable or better than Hyundai's?
I see the question. I must say that this one is definitely mostly about portability. So that's gonna be the main target point. The main point is that it is movable. You can do it yourself and for your cottage. First of all, you can put it on, and then later on, of course, it's expandable, and we can figure out some more business solutions for these kind of questions. But we don't have it yet. That's for sure.
And it's more efficient than the same price.
Yeah, so the panels are more efficient as well. Yeah, it's a new design and a new technology.
One last question. Do you have an IP registered?
Do you have an IP registered?
No.
Okay, don't leave the room.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys so much. Great job there. Cherry task.
Ez most PPT-ben nyílik meg?
Van, aki végül PPT-be küldve, de mind a kettőt tudjátok léptetni.
Aha, jó, mindegy. Aha, jó ez nekünk. De ez most PDF, ugye?
PDF, de ugyanis csak ugyanígy tudod léptetni. Nem fog így
Hát ugrott, visszatérünk rá. Full.
Jó lesz. Faszom rakom kezdve. Okay. Hello, I would like to talk to you about CherryTask, which is an integrated platform for volunteering events. I would like to very quickly introduce the team to you. We have Shoma, Chris, Marci, and myself, Barna. We have a bunch of questions that are changing really how we are thinking about the future. We have so many questions that raise uncertainty about the future. We have global warming, we have the pandemic, we have the Ukrainian war, and all of these things lead to us thinking about what we'll do in the future and how our society and our world will look like in the future. And all of them lead to another question: how can I do something? What can I do? How can I make the world a better place? And I think the most obvious answer to this would be I go out and I do some work. I do some volunteering, for example. But it's not as simple as one would think. This is something we faced when we ourselves want to go volunteering. We all did our masters in different universities abroad. And when we came back to Hungary last summer, we wanted to do some volunteering work. And we decided to look for some opportunities on the internet, and we very quickly realized that it is a very complicated system because, first of all, there's a lack of transparency. We don't have much information about what events there are and how many organizations there are. And even if you decide on an organization, you can't just go and do some volunteer work. You can't just go out and take a dog for a walk or just paint a fence or collect some trash. You have to get registered and interview with an organization, even if you just want to go out once and do something good. And the third problem is that even if you get registered with an organization and you interview and you become a member, still the way that the organizations are organizing their events is very, very inefficient. They are doing it through email lists on the phone or in Facebook groups, which, as you know, is not the most technologically advanced way you could do it. And our solution to this is CherryTask, which is a platform for volunteering events. We are planning to collect all of the events into one place and all of the information into one place. So if you want to go volunteering, you just simply enter CherryTask. You find an event that suits you and that fits into your schedule, and you just simply register through our website and go. And we kind of eliminate the unnecessary bureaucracy. Let's quickly talk about up top that it's actually a very, very big market. Only in Hungary we have like 2.4 million people who did some volunteer work in the year before this survey, and they did more than 300 million hours of work. So we know that it's a huge, huge market. And as we heard in the beginning, a startup has to be fit, it has to be sexy, and it has to be a moneymaker for it to be a real startup, and that's what we really want to be. The question is, how do we monetize a market where people offer their work for free and where other organizations work together with them also for free? Well, it's quite simple. We involve the corporations into it. One of our key principles is that we don't want to charge volunteers and volunteering organizations anything. We want them to use our website for free. However, we want to offer some ESG services to corporations such as advertising their ESG efforts, or helping them to find an organization that they can sponsor, or maybe just organize events for their employees. All of these lead to our corporate package, which is the basis on which these numbers are based. On the left, you can see the burn rate, and on the right, the financial performance. And as you can see, we're turning profitable in mid-2023 when we're going to enter international markets. And then in the end, let's just very quickly talk about what we've achieved so far and what we are looking to do in the future. We worked on research and specifications in the autumn up until February. We worked on howtohelp.hu or hodsegíts.hu, which is a platform for the Ukrainian war, where we had a database for civil volunteers. That happened from March until April. It helped us a lot because we gained a lot of experience, and we saw quite some traction which showed us this is sustainable and this can be successful. And right now we are starting development, which is going to end in June. We are hoping to go to market in June, and we are looking to build up the corporate profiles through which we'll monetize the system at the end of July. And with this, I would like to thank you for your attention, and please visit our social media sites and our website to gather more information about ChariTask. Thank you, guys. Hello. I think it's fine if we hear you.
Hello. Okay. So, thanks for the pitch again. Question about let's say the customer side validation, so the corporates. Have you talked to them, offering this opportunity? So you prepared.
You can see some more information about our corporate package and one-off solutions. We are currently doing the needs assessment meetings with corporations. We just started doing that, but we already have quite a few lined up with top multinationals in Hungary and top Hungarian corporations. So we are hoping to validate our ideas. You can just ignore the 790 number for now. That's mostly a placeholder for us to do our planning and budgeting. The main idea is if you enter a corporate package, you pay per user within your corporation.
Okay.
Because it's not only a platform through which you conduct your marketing and your sponsoring activities, but also an employee well-being package you invest in. Your employees can then pre-book events, go together to events through group registration, and I think employees going to volunteering events is becoming a bigger and bigger thing, even in Hungary. And then also there are loads of gamification elements that build on that. And at the same time, there's loads of data collected through all the activities corporations carry out, all the sponsoring activities, marketing activities, all of which is, just 1 second.
Good.
All of which is measured. And then on that, there is obviously loads of ESG data that can then be produced for them. Yeah.
Okay. Just so you stay in the flow, why 790?
So that's a variable we got from looking at different employee well-being services that gathered all right following within the first few years of their market entry. So these aren't services that were in the volunteering market, but more like health and other free time activities services that corporations were willing to pay money to have their employees signed up for.
Okay.
Yes, in Hungary.
Yeah, okay,
in Hungary.
So outside of the environment of this competition, never put a price tag before you know how much your customer wants to pay.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that first part of it.
Never put a price tag on your product until you know how much your customer is willing to pay.
Good thing we didn't show it before.
Right. Okay. So I told you to ignore that figure, that's a dummy variable. Mostly we are doing needs assessment meetings without actually discussing the price right now and more discussing which services are most required by corporations. And then we'll figure out that in the coming weeks what the exact pricing will be.
Maybe it will be advisable to put 2 numbers in front of that. 1 and 0. That's more reliable.
Okay, my question would be that this is practically a marketplace with a twist, because there is the good cause, there are the people, and there is a third party who is paying for the whole thing. There is sort of a chicken-egg problem. Who goes to the market if the other side is not there? How are you planning to just get the solution for this?
Yeah, I'm going to reflect on all 3 groups separately. And I'm going to firstly talk about Hosszegíts. This is a platform that we developed during March. And we already established, using Hosszegíts.hu, a number of connections to organizations. So we already talked to them, and they seem to be interested in the whole platform. We are currently looking for them to sign letters of intent, and a bunch of them already signed some, so we see an interest from them. We already saw that a bunch of people are interested in volunteering if it's possible without joining an organization. So as you can see, we had 1,200 volunteers in the first week, which is a lot. And then looking at corporations, I think they are facing more and more challenges, and especially from the ESG side. There is a drive towards ESG, and Hungary is not prepared for it. Most corporations have no idea what to do with ESG. And we are delivering a simple solution. Okay, take your employees and make them volunteer. Take your money and easily sponsor organizations through us. And I think companies like simple solutions.
And I would like to add one thing to this. 70% of those who registered to this Hosszegíts.hu is willing to share their email numbers, email addresses with us for Charitask to contact them when the platform is ready. And if you visit charitask.hu, you can already see that there is a pre-registration phase for corporates, the organizations, and the users itself as well. So we are creating a funnel so they can be in the I don't know. We are reloading them so we can shut when it's ready.
Yes. Okay. Thanks.
Do you know any foreign company that uses your business model to monetize volunteering?
Yes, we know one. Do you want me to name it or I mean, it's a German company. They started 2 years ago and they exited after 1 year mostly. They were bought out for, I don't quite remember, I think it was $1 million. About 80% of the company was sold to investors. But yeah, there is a company, and in only 2 years they gathered 100,000 users in Germany.
Yeah, that's
even
nice.
though it's run by 2 21-year-olds.
Thank you.
No, I'm good.
Is it a good sign that you don't have questions, or?
What about the Hungarian competition?
There is no such a website at the moment in Hungary. There were 2 prior websites. We talked to both, and we looked at them, and none of them functioned very well. One of them was developed by the government. Nobody's using it because the government didn't just tell the organizations about it, so nobody knows about it. And there is one which started like 12 years ago, and the organization that tried to do it, they were not technologically advanced, and they had no idea how to keep up such a site.
They actually asked us to take over if we want their own platform as well.
I will tell you one competitor after the event.
Yeah.
Actually, one Humble member invested in that, so be aware of the competition.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. Please.
Thank you.
All right, and now it's EQ's turn, I think.
if you would be blind, you would see this from the whole presentation. If you are a visually impaired person, you would see something like this. But if you're lucky, you can see the whole picture clearly. And our goal is to make these related people's lives more convenient and to solve their problems. Due to research from the Semmelweis University in Hungary, there are more than 200,000 visually impaired persons, and there are more than 30,000 blind people. So this is a quite big market. Furthermore, in Europe, there are more than 30 million related people with this problem. And for a healthy person, it is hard to imagine what problems these people has. I would like to highlight one of them, which is the brightness of their lights, because the visually impaired people, most of them prefer the solid light to see something, but there are other ones whose eyes is hurt by it, and it can be changed during the day because it depends on the tiredness of their eyes, and with our solution it is hard to solve it. This is a video from a visually impaired person who is testing our product. He is from the National Institution of the Blind, and we developing a compact system which is accessible for them, and this is our advantage against our competitors, because the market are not focused on them at all. And we had many interesting surprises during our 20 interviews. The first one was that in Hungary there are lack of the appropriate nursing homes. We were interested in these places because in there are many visually impaired people. Also, the key thought we have learned that for these people the independency is invaluable. And our goal is to increase their independency as much as we can. This is our income expectation. I can tell you about it more if you are interested in at the second part of my pitch. And we have 3 pricing package. And our further needs are the co-workers to increase our installation capacity, to have money to start. It's about 10 million forint that we need, and infrastructure, also global collaboration. And I hope that I could help you to see another perspective in these people, from these people. And this is our addresses where you can find us and reach us if you have any idea or question, or you can support us. And thank you for your attention.
Hello. Quick question. So, what's your product practically? So,
yes.
What can you summarize the features, or actually what it does?
Our product has 3 main parts. The first one is an application, is a smartphone application, and we have a hardware. We are developing a hardware. I mentioned the lights. Also, another problem that if someone lives in Budapest, for example, where there are a lot of similar houses nearby, the blind people and visually impaired people usually go further from their home, and we can develop a device for them which is tell them to not to go further, so they have arrived to home. And so we have hardware devices, the software, and the server, which is controls the whole product, the whole smart home system.
Still don't understand. So my question is, if I would use this, I understand the infrastructure, so the app, etc., but what is it used for? To control the lights or to let them into their house? It's an application, kind of like Waze, guiding me in the streets. So how will they use it, and what's the benefit of using this product?
It is a smart home system, so it helps them to in their home, and they can control their lights, for example, or their other devices at their home, for example, the heater, and other problem of them so they can't see the feedback of the devices of their home, and we can give it to them. So if they have left the heater, for example, or the cooker, the application tells them, and they can turn it off, for example.
Okay, kind of piggybacking a little bit here. I get your target market, and I think that's great. But I've seen stuff like this before, but I'm even afraid to say that because I'm still not clear exactly. Like, just tell me what's this guy doing? What is this guy? I assume he's not impaired. He's blind, right?
Visually impaired.
So he's visually impaired. So what's the product he's doing there? What is that you're going to bring to market that he's doing?
This is a video, but. Just one start. So he's using the smartphone, which turns on the lights of our first prototype. It is what you could see, and he can use it with an accessible user interface, also with voice control. And the voice control gives him a feedback what he have done in his house.
Okay.
Alexa can be verified, right? So Google's Alexa as well.
Yes, it is important to integrate these technologies, and we are working on it. But the Alexa and the Google Assistant, it is not enough for them. So they need devices which is accessible for them, because the Alexa and the Google Assistant can help a healthy person, but not as much as for the related people with any disabilities.
What do you think? So you mentioned that the competition is not focusing on this target group, let's say. So what could be the reason?
We think that they are not interested in, because they need the knowledge to reach these people, because they need to know their problems. And they are focusing on the easily accessible people, the ordinary healthy people, and they don't want to invest the effort for reach the people with disabilities. Also, there are products which can help them, but these are not affordable, and just a few of them are accessible.
You should think about it, that they don't want to invest in this segment, and as you mentioned, this is not affordable, so it's a challenge.
Yes, absolutely.
No, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just a question. The TradeBots team is still not here.
I'll speak for them.
Can you?
Sure.
We're not right. Well, anyway, so the yes is coming up then, okay? Yeah, you guys.
Can I start? Hi, we are the Corvinus Dash team, Smart Home Distributed Energy System. My name is Gergely Puskás, and okay. Thank you for your attention. So, my name is Gergely Puskás, and with my partner we study business informatics at Corvinus University. So, against fighting the climate change, EU introduced Fit for 55, which means that we need to reduce our carbon emission by 55% until 2030. And countries who fail to implement these will suffer from huge penalties and fines. So everyone thinks that car companies are the bad guys, and the EU put a knife to their throat. But car companies and transport only accounts for 30% of the energy consumption. And the biggest energy wasting is coming from ineffective buildings. So for buildings, for space heating and water heating, it accounts for 46% of the energy consumed. So in our belief, this is a more important area to focus on. We already built 7 smart homes with full features and 2 smart home offices. So we are familiar with the existing technologies. Our goal is to combine these existing technology with our new model to reduce the CO2 and eliminate the CO2 fines and reduce the cost. We believe that combining these technologies and our model will pay for itself in the long run. On here, with the existing technologies, you can see ceiling, floor and wall heating, which acts as a protective bubble around the building that doesn't let the building to cool out or warm up. And you can see heat pumps, which modern heat pumps are very efficient, can produce 5 kilowatts of heating and cooling from 1 kilowatt of energy. On this picture you can see a project that we've done. On the left side you can see a buffer tank, a 300-liter buffer tank that stores cold and hot water for heating and cooling. On the right side you can see a DHV domestic hot water tank, which is 500-liter. And there is also the pipelines in the floor and the ceiling combined to 200 liters. So altogether, it's 1,000 liter water in a family home. And if we reach the target temperature with this 1,000 liter, it acts as a battery. So if we would turn our system off, we wouldn't notice for at least 12 hours that our system is off. So our solution is we build a pool of smart homeowners that are already online, like a mobile fleet. And we purchase energy together. We help cutting down the peak usage and use up wasted energy. This also helps the electricity provider companies because they don't have to fire up their inefficient power plants. So, and we will make a tool that connects these heat pumps that allows us to remote control these heat pumps according to the electricity price and the quantity. So on this graph, you can see the electricity prices and quantities of 27th of April. So what we would do, we would turn on our heat pump to raise the domestic hot water for target temperature at 24 hours. And we would turn it off at 6 o'clock, because then the peak usage would come. And we would turn it back on at around 12 o'clock until 6 o'clock to refill a lost energy in buffer tanks and pipelines. Together, everyone saves more. Implement DASH to avoid huge fines. Thank you.
I got a couple questions here. So you have a range of products that you build new houses, not converting existing housing?
So we built 7 new houses and converted old ones to stand up for the new. But this product that I'm talking about is not yet an in-market product.
What's the actual product?
The idea and the product is that we make a pool of smart homeowners, like a mobile fleet.
Okay.
So they are already connected to an internet, most of them, but who is not connected to internet just have these modern technologies. We can build a tool that helps them to connect to the internet in order that we can remote control their system. And this is beneficial for them, because they can purchase the electricity cheaper in a fleet with us.
Yeah, I get that. So it's like some sort of energy management consulting firm, right? I mean, or is there an actual hardware that you are installing in houses?
Actual hardware is only needed if they are not connected to the internet right now. Otherwise, if they are already connected...
Let's just talk about my house. I have a house, and I've got all the cool little tools that you said there.
So can you reach your house from your smartphone right now to control the temperature?
Let's say that I can.
Then we only need a contract from you and an API connection to the smart home provider.
So you help me run my system just more efficiently. That's what your business is. Okay, I got you. Okay, thank you. Question?
Do you have any competition?
Right now in this market, no. So who controls a fleet of house users? There are none.
Okay, do you have any competition which is at least 50% doing the same thing that you do?
In a way that we build smart homes, yes. But in
so
a way
you do
that
have competition.
Yeah, but in a way that controls. So there is no a smart home owner association or something like that. There is none.
Okay. What do you think? How easy is for them to copy you?
Sorry?
How easy is for them to copy you?
For a competition, it is easy. It's not about the idea, it's about the execution and the connections to the energy suppliers and to the homeowners. And we have a database of homeowners, because the firm we work with, that we build these houses, we have a list of 20,000 homeowners who already have a system which can be easily connected to our system to control their home units.
You know that one of the competitors is sitting in BME?
Where?
In BME, in the university here.
I didn't know.
Yeah, okay. Go to the Z10 and look for heat ventors and talk with the guys there.
Thank you.
About the business model, so how can you earn money?
It's the same business model, I would say, like with mobile fleets. So raise your hand if you are a part of a mobile fleet. I would say 40% of it here. So we would make a contract with the energy supplier, and we would make a contract with the house owners. And there's two options. We would take a cut, and with this we can use the energy that nobody wants. the one that is produced midnight, for example. So we can use the cheap energy and we can optimize the running time of the heat pumps. So it's beneficial for everyone. We can make a cut. The homeowner pays cheaper electricity, and the electricity provider doesn't have to fire up the polluting plants, and Hungary could reach the Fit for 55 goal to eliminate the CO2.
Yes, one question. So that works for the heat pump, I get it, but yeah. I have another 20, 25 electricity to, like my television or the alarm clock or the coffee machine, which is needed in the morning, no matter how much the electricity costs. So how much percent of the electricity bill can we save on that part? Because I know that bit, but the question is, why would the electricity company give you a better price if it's not zero consumption from 6 till 8 or 9 or something like that?
So the power plant is running. For example, the nuclear power plant cannot be shut down. So
yes, but it's more. I think you know it much better than me. But it's a more complicated system. Luckily.
So you said alarm clocks and TV. There's nothing like that, because I talked about we have 1,000 liter of water which acts as a battery. So this is everyone tries to make a better battery for cars and everything that I said. It's only 30%. There is much more to be improved here. So with this 1,000 liter of water that can act as a battery, but it's just warm or cold water.
I have a system like this at home, so I know and understand.
So and it's not really not only a business question. As I said, we have a goal to reach the Fit for 55. So there could be governmental helps, that because we need state funds to reach this goal. So the public company cannot reach this goal. It's our common governmental goal. So there could be state funds to help us reach this goal.
Okay, thanks.
Anything else?
Thank you very much.
Okay then, so the last team couldn't make it today. So this means that we are taking a half-hour break right now. There's food outside, there are drinks outside, so we can all leave, I think, except the jury members, all right? I'm sorry. You can probably eat too, but it's your time to now discuss the order, okay? And the scores. No, you're just forbidden. Okay then. Apparently the jury is not even needed anymore, but nevertheless, I think I will just first ask Pali actually to introduce what's happening next, because it's actually time for the jury's remarks now. Okay.
Thank you very much. And so I would like to take the opportunity to thank you very much for your contribution. It's a jury. Thank you very much.
Decision-making rule.
I think we should.
You start to make.
Thank you very much.
Start to discuss decision when you are sober, Make your final decision then you are done. Or vice versa.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you to give your general remarks, okay, first, just a couple of minutes each, without telling us who the winners are, okay? Can we just go from, well, yeah, my right, your left?
Okay.
Hello. Okay, so, yep, you have seen that we had hard times discussing the order, the pros and cons, but we made a kind of a final decision, a final order, which will be presented by not the jury. So what I wanted to share as a kind of a last comment on one hand to everyone, thanks for all the efforts and your time preparing for this competition and the others for coming here. Actually, I started my first company, my first venture when I was taking the first or the second year at the university. That was not successful, I can tell you. In 2 years, we closed that business, and from that point, I'm almost, let's say, self-employed. So I was not working for a multinational company or like that. I consider myself an entrepreneur, which I really enjoy. So actually, at some point in your life, if you have the chance, then try entrepreneurship, try to build something on your own with a team, hopefully making some impact positive impact on others' life, or just generating revenue and return for investors. But believe me, it's fun. It's not easy, but it's fun. And maybe this is the first step for you. So let's continue this journey. About the pitch competition, I think we enjoyed it. So, as said, we had hard time to discuss. The others will give feedbacks to different teams. I will give feedback to Triviador. I'm not sure whether you are here. Maybe you had to leave. So I think if you were here, the pitch was kind of very professional. So we liked the pitch. Everyone can learn out of that. Maybe some focus points we would slightly change if we would put together the pitch. What we were kind of bit missing from that is, on one hand, more confidence about the business model, the pricing, and the content. So how it will be generated, whether it will be qualified. We discussed it, but still we were missing that. However, they were quite good.
So, thank you very much, Leonard. I'm looking for the EQ team. Yeah, you are. Okay, thank you. So, I will be talking to them, okay? So, just don't misunderstand me. So, I'm turning to you, but I'm talking to them. I think that there are topics which are exclusively important. And one of them is our responsibility to help our people, especially if they are in some way impaired visually or blind or have any different things that the rest of us have. So it's our duty to think in that way, to help them. However, business in a certain way should also be taken into consideration. So you cannot help people without having a proper business. And you should be clear in the formulation. What is the product, what is the service, what is the solution that you're offering? You shouldn't be we shouldn't have any second doubts. We should not think in our head, what is this guy trying to sell me? You should be much more clear. And it is quite important to understand that business itself is not about only money. It's about the impact what you make. But its impact should be impeccable. Okay? So anybody of you who is trying to do business, you should follow the right rule. You should follow your heart. You should tell honestly what is your business, what are you doing for the people that you are targeting, and how you are making money out of it. Simple as like that. Okay? And the most important message for me to you, never ever believe what the jury member is telling you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for that. I don't know what should I say now. But it's all right. I'm going to talk to the Cherry Task team right now. And what we found is that, yes, another impact venture, what you're proposing, and it's probably one of the most difficult to make money on something that is so socially important. And that's probably one of the biggest thing and the biggest issue that you will have on your business model, that will it work or will it not work, and how will it work. But what we really liked about your pitch, and I'm trying to be positive from all aspects, is that you put together what you have. You really reacted what was unfortunately happening a couple of months ago, but you reacted straight away. You set up a website. You had people signing up to that, and you were getting data and using that data, and you were able to present it to us as well, and we really like that part of it. So yes, once again, not an easy part, not an easy business that you're entering into, but keep up the work, and we are watching what's going to happen from this. Okay, and thanks, Scott.
So I'm doing two, right? The Lumen and the DES. Okay, so the Lumen was really interesting. As you can see, you've all, 11 of you picked them as first. That's fascinating. I think one of the reasons why, is they had an actual product that you can almost in your head touch and feel and saw buttons and it's got gizmos. So that was kind of a plus there. So I think they had success because it was interesting, not necessarily because the pitch was good. No, what I mean is, in a way, they let it for us to fill in the blanks, right? You saw this, and then you in your own head said, oh, I see the market for this, I see this. They didn't necessarily touch on those points that you want to communicate. Again, you've got 4 minutes, so that's tough. So the one thing that I thought that they could definitely work on is zero in on the target market. I was really unclear. Were they trying to replace solar panels in general on a house, or is it for camping trips, or something in between? Again, you all seem pretty excited about it. There's something there, but I'd like to understand a little bit more about what that is. But overall, still very good. DES was really interesting to me because, unlike the other ones, they have no real product that they can control by a patent or a trademark. It's a service provider, like Netflix versus Amazon, right? It's the same thing. So which one do you prefer, or maybe you do both? So they're open to competition, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So in that case, again, you've got 4 minutes, and they have to pretend that we have a bunch of money in our pockets. And how do you get the money that's in our pockets? And I think that I would recommend is you got to hit that market potential right off the bat as soon as possible in that pitch. Not just 55, these countries need to do this certain things by 2030, and all these big countries, again, you're letting us fill in the blanks. Okay, Germany's a big country, they're worth billions and billions of dollars. But how big is that market? How am I going to make you really super duper rich when you invest with me? So that's something I would recommend focusing on with them is this is a service we're going to provide. This is the market we're going to go after. And again, what you're trying to do in 4 minutes is you're trying to get the conversation to continue, right? No one's going to write a check after that 4 minutes, but you're going to get someone to come at the bar. Hey, let's talk. right? If they see the potential there. So I think there's a little more focus on the actual market you're trying to do and what the value proposition is. I think that's all, right?
Yeah? Would that be all? All right then. Well, I'm just waiting for Dominika to help me, I think, because she did something in the system that I definitely don't understand right now. Should I just give you a minute?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Because I still need to put the names of the teams on the slides.
Yeah, super important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dominika, and thank you for your patience. Dominika is, by the way, my colleague who I haven't introduced yet, and she's our tech wizard genius who, and our graphic designer, project manager. She has a lot of positions and does a lot for Danube Cup, so thank you so much to her. So now it's time for the award ceremony to take place. And so about the prizes a little bit. So first and foremost, obviously, it will be decided who proceeds to the semifinal. And then also, well, the jury, I believe, has created an order here. So whoever gets the first place gets 100,000 forints from MediaMarkt in the form of a gift certificate, and then the second place gets 60,000 forints, and the third and fourth places get 40,000 and 40,000 forints each from MediaMarkt, and also whoever got the fifth place receives 20,000 forint gift certificate from Livry. And we also have special awards today from the Untold Stories Conference. Basically, two teams will receive 3 and 3 entrance tickets to the conference, which takes place this September, plus mentoring sessions to the basically the 4 top teams. And we have another award here, the Danube Cup Pitch Mentoring Prize, also for the 4 teams who proceed to the semifinal. Okay, so now I will actually ask Dr. Anikó Grágyenge to take the stage. And she will be the one to present the awards. She's the Vice Dean for Science and Innovation Affairs at BME Faculty of Economic and Social Sciences. So, Anikó, would you please be kind enough to take the stage? Thank you.
Yes. Okay. What's my role here? Thank you very much. I'm very grateful that you came to us and shared your ideas with us. I'm very, very happy today afternoon, but I wouldn't like to waste your time, and I will announce the prizes. As Orsi said, we have several prizes, but we reconstructed the prizes, I have to say. The fourth place means a gift certificate with a value of 20,000 forints. It goes to one of the BMS groups. It is the EQ. Congratulations.
Marcy, can you come back?
Just for text.
Sorry. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. The third prize is a gift certificate with a value of 40,000 forints. It goes to the distributed energy system from the Corvinus University. The jury decided to share the second place between two competitors. The first one is the Lumen from BME, and they get 60,000 forints in a gift certificate. The second place goes to Triviador. You will give them. Okay, thank you.
I will give them.
Okay. And
the first place.
The first place goes to Charitas. Congratulations. As I understood, we followed the public voice.
Egyet, ez lemásolni.
Még hiányzik a többiket is, csak...
Köszönjük szépen.
All right.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Okay. So now it's time to announce the special awards for today. So I'm calling Yasmina Choroyanu, if I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you. And Carolina Pescaru, they are project managers at Europa Media, and they are here to hand out the special award to attend the Untold Stories conference.
Thank you. Actually, that was a very great way to pronounce my name because I've been called many names throughout my international experience. First of all, I would like to congratulate all the teams and the organizing team, of course. And you've heard it already, don't give up. I don't think I'm entitled to give that kind of advice because I'm not an entrepreneur yet. But this competition actually can make you dream, at least, and give you ideas. So just a couple of words about Untold Stories Conference. So it's a conference where we're trying to gather in an intimate atmosphere see startups together with serial entrepreneurs that have been there, done that, basically to give advice, to learn, to give back to the community. And among the names, we've had speakers from the US, from Silicon Valley, like Zach Coelius and Marvin Liao, but also other international names like representative from Bolt, but also local names, which we are very proud of, like Bitrise, Shaper 3D, and also very great investors like Creandum, also local ones like Octagon Ventures. You might know Gyula Feher. So at Antul Stories, via fireside chats, keynote speeches, office hours, we're trying to bring people together. The speakers are sharing stories they never tell on record, and 100% bullshit free. So, the organizers of the event, we are representing Europa Media Group and Startup Europe Networks, but we're also co-organizing the event with Startup Hungary. You might know Csongor Bias, who is in charge and managing all the things, and I really recommend the Hungarian Startup Report 2020 that is like right there. So basically, what I would say, see you at Untold to find out what the Untold stories are about.
Great.
And now I'll let Carolina speak.
Yeah, this is not a pitch, so we don't accept feedback. Thank you very much. No. So first of all, to the first place and the second place, we offer them a mentor hour with one of the mentors at Untold Stories, whoever you want, you can choose, right? And you can have your team for 1 hour, get advice and have a nice discussion, right? So that will be for the first 3 teams, that being the Cherry Talk, the Lumen, right? And the Triador, right? So in a very GDPR compliant way, I have your email addresses, and I will be telling you more about this opportunity, right? So I'll reach out to you, but for now, I'm just going to give you the voucher, nice voucher that you can have. And because we appreciate hard work and good ideas, for all the participants today, we give free tickets to Untold Stories Budapest, so you can bring up to 3 of your colleagues, right, to Untold Stories Budapest. So you can learn together with us from the international speakers, and you can network and get inspired, okay? So I'll be giving this out to you guys. So we're really excited to see you there.
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Thank you very much. All right, and the last prize is the Danube Cup Pitch Mentoring Prize, and I think we all know who are going to get those prizes. Nevertheless, I'm going to ask Pali to please present the teams and also give some of his remarks.
Thank you very much. So before announcing the last award, I really appreciate for everybody who was here, and especially those colleagues who made this wonderful event available. I mean, this wonderful event success and made it available, not available, happen. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired at the end, but anyway. So I want to mention a couple of names without whom we couldn't arrange this conference. So first of all, from the BME side, Aniko Gradjenge vised in for our faculty, who always felt that this is a very, very important competition, and she always helped us in organizing this event. So thank you very much. Also on Corvinus side, Loretta Huszák, who is one of our chief organizers, not just the conference, but also for the competition. So thank you very, very much, Loretta. And also many, many names. I want to emphasize Dominika. So Dominika was always with us, and this is her 2nd year in a row, and she helped a lot to make this happen. So thank you very much, Dominika. And of course, the jury and János primarily. János is probably the only person besides me who was here 6 years ago. And thank you very much for your encouragement and your dedication to this wonderful event. So thank you, János. And also I could mention a couple of names. Aida. Aida is responsible for communication. Also Orsi, responsible for moderation. And I'm sure that I missed a couple of others. But Christian is not with us, Pota Christian, who was responsible for sponsoring. Also, I thank you very much for the Ifjúsági Vállalkozás Élénkítő Egyesület, János Moll, and also László Trautmann, who were always with us in this event. So I think they were all, and also Gábor Dehelán, who was responsible for Startup VIP. Startup VIP was, I would say, how did we say, contributing event, because it was very helpful for us to understand what the university teams would like to see here and how they could prepare. And I hope that Gábor will be with us also next year. Actually, Gábor was also with us last year, so thank you very much. Okay, and finally, so the Danube Cup Mentoring Award, also it's a contribution by Gábor and his team. And Gábor and his team will mentor all the 4 teams that will proceed to the international final. So Triviador team, Lumen team, Charitas team, and the Distributed Energy Systems team. So they will receive mentoring opportunity from us. So please contact us, and of course, we will clarify how and in what form we will help you. But of course, our interest is that you would make it successfully to the final and represent Hungary. So thank you very much again, and I don't know what else.
Well, not much more. I think we can skip a bunch of... Basically, we can just skip here because we are wrapping up right now. So thank you so much for being here today. Really, everybody from the audience, everybody watching, and to all the teams, everybody who proceeds to the semifinals, and everybody who doesn't. Really, you did a very, very good job today. And thank you to the organizing team from my side as well. And well, I feel like I've said enough thank yous. So so I think we can wrap up. Yeah, of course. And it's time for photos now. Okay. And
especially the jury and the winning teams.
Okay, especially the jury and the winning teams. So jury members, please stand up for photos, and all the winning teams, you can also come out here.
So thank you.
Thank you so much.